Coming up this week on The Travel Show, I'm in Dubai to find out how they're trying hard to make holidays more sustainable here. So that goes back into the land, back into the system to help create food.
Correct, one big cycle.
Sustainability in a bag. I like it. Plus, I meet the turtles who've become temporary residents at an iconic 7-star hotel. And then there's a serious drop in temperature as we travel to Russia to meet the man who's just completed his own incredible journey across Siberia.
It's Siberian people who live there. They say, Carlos, you will lose your face on the first day.
We're kicking off this week here in Dubai, a place that just over 40 years ago was a sleepy trading town, but now is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world, up there with London, Paris and Bangkok. Home to the world's tallest skyscrapers, biggest shopping malls and insane hotel suites, it's built its image on luxury, excess and world records. But I'm here to find out if the new trend in town could surprisingly be sustainability. This is Sustainable City. Now it's only 20 minutes away from the heart of Dubai where you'll find all those massive skyscrapers, and over 500 families live here, and it's fast becoming a tourist attraction in its own right. Hello, Hadil.
Hello, welcome to the city.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
Right.
Are you ready for a tour?
Yes, please.
Yalla, let's go.
I like that. Woo!
The whole city was built to cover all environmental, economic and social sustainability. So it's designed to use clean energy from solar panels and to recycle 100% of water and waste, to encourage the use of electric buggies and electric shuttles.
I was going to say, I don't see many cars or buses here.
Yes. So the residential cluster was designed to encourage walkability. It's a no-car zone. It's designed with the narrow sikkas to encourage people to walk and use their bikes inside the community. And they have the electric buggies, which you see on the side.
Ooh, look at this place.
This is a 3-bedroom villa.
This is something that I'm intrigued about. You've got a flat screen TV, you've got lights, I can see PowerPoints everywhere. Even, is that air conditioning?
Yes, of course.
How does it all run?
So like any other household, you'll find all these appliances, but the rooftops are covered with solar, which produce 60% of the energy requirement for the villa. And then for lighting, we use LED lighting.
So is that less power?
It's less power, yeah. You're using less power than what you usually would consume in another villa. And then the appliances in the kitchen as well are all environmentally friendly. So we try to reduce the need of energy. And when you're using energy, it's always clean energy coming directly from the solar panels on the rooftop.
The vibe here is all about smart design and building a sustainable community. There are classrooms on site to cut down on the daily school run, and there's a pet-friendly atmosphere. Although the houses aren't cheap, the owners make savings on things like electricity and water. Try that. Oh, that was really cool. When I was told I was coming to Dubai, the last thing I expected to be doing is pushing around a sustainable greenhouse full of homegrown veg. It feels like I'm in a jungle here. It smells lovely. Back in 2006, the World Wildlife Fund said that people living in the United Arab Emirates had the biggest ecological footprint in the world. But with more and more of us thinking about the environment when we choose our holiday destinations, Dubai has set a target of getting 75% of its energy from clean and renewable sources by 2050. And I'm off to visit a hotel that claims that sustainability makes good business sense too. Now, all the best hotels in the world really pride themselves on their breakfast. So let's see what this place has got to offer. Tell you what, I am starving. Looking forward to some proper breakfast. Posh nosh. One of the things people like about big luxury hotels like this is that you can pretty much order whatever you want, whenever you want. Mortadella focaccia. My Italian's terrible. But having so much choice available inevitably can lead to a lot of food waste. And that's something that this hotel is tackling. Here at the buffet, for example, they display smaller platters of food and only replace them once they're eaten. But it's back of house that the real serious work is going on to cut down on food waste. Can you tell me how this system works?
Of course. Let me just show you. Here we have trimmings. Trimmings are what's left over from the chef when he's preparing the dishes. These are still very much food waste, and we want to identify and categorize these in order to be able to plan better with our menus. So let's give it a try. We're going to throw it into the bin.
Yeah.
The system now is showing us that the weight has been added to the scales. We're going to go, would you like to categorize it now? We said yes. And then it's going to come up with trimmings, and I'm going to identify trimmings, and it's as simple as that.
Oh yeah, and the weight is coming up there.
What we're going to do is we're actually going to put the food that's on the guest plates into the trough. Okay. It'll wash down into the machine itself, the composting machine, like that. There we go. This is now segregating it to allow us to actually take out anything that's soluble, and then the food will then go through to the next stage, which is composting.
Ah, that's better.
We can hear each other now. Yeah. So as the machine takes away all the solubles, the second stage it will go off to the composting room. All the food that has been left over goes off to the composting room. The composting room then takes all of the final solubles out of the food. It dries it, and this is the end product. This is what you end up with.
And this is what it turns into.
Yeah.
That's so heavy. How much food is this? Would you
This
say?
is the day's room service.
A whole day's worth of room service waste is squeezed into a bag like this.
Correct. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then this will now go on to be used as farming compost, so we can use it back in the land.
So that goes back into the land, back into the system to help create food.
Correct. One big cycle.
Sustainability in a bag. I like it. So far, through smart monitoring of its menu and waste, this hotel reckons it's preventing the equivalent of around 120,000 meals being simply thrown away every year. But it's not just food that's being looked at in more sustainable ways in Dubai. It's estimated that each year over 150 million empty glass bottles are discarded here, with a lot of them coming from hotels and restaurants. But now there's a move to do something else with them. Anjali Srinivasan is an award-winning glassblower, and her studio here in Dubai has now joined forces with a local waste management company to put lots of that unwanted glass to good use. So you don't call this recycled glass anymore, you call it upcycled.
Yeah.
Why?
We try to take the glass in the bottle in its original form and try to make it something having a lot more value, and that's what makes it different from recycling.
Hence upcycling it. But it's all sustainable.
It's absolutely. So what happens is, if we had not made a candle stand out of this bottle, it would have probably ended up in the landfill, and it takes a million years for a glass bottle.
A million years?
Absolutely, for a glass bottle to decompose in a natural environment.
One of the things I notice when I'm here in Dubai is everything is bling, everything is flash, it's all about new. And old and second-hand doesn't seem to me to be something that people here in Dubai are into.
The reason why you see a lot of things here which are new and bling is because it's a young country. A lot of the things and structures that you see here have probably come up only in the past few years. But having said that, the UAE and Dubai have set themselves a target of 75% of recycling and waste diversion by 2021.
Wow, 75%. Where are they at the moment in terms of recycling or upcycling?
We are at about 25 to 30%.
We're talking about doubling.
Absolutely. And initiatives like this is the step in the right direction.
While there are some who say that the very idea of building a city in the desert is pretty unsustainable in itself, Dubai has never been a place that's been short on ambition, and it sets some impressive targets in terms of clean energy and waste.
Oh, look at this. I feel a little bit nervous.
And with more and more of us looking for that eco-friendly element to our holidays, we'll be keen to know if they manage to reach them.
Yeah, look at that. I'm making glass cups. Coming up, there's more from us here in Dubai.
As I'm off to see the turtles who've checked in at one of the world's most iconic hotels.
So stay with us for that.
For this month's incredible journey, we meet a man who motorcycled 1,000 kilometers through sub-zero temperatures to Oymyakon, which claims to be the coldest town on Earth.
In Siberia it can get to minus 60 Celsius. When you receive a frostbite, it takes maybe 2 to 3 minutes to lose your skin in that area. And literally my nose is 1 centimeter from the all that cold. So it was really something what I was very afraid of. The project took maybe 1.5 years. Preparation took different stages. One is technical, one is physical, and another is mental. I live in a wonderful town, Druskininkai, which is my hometown, and I was preparing my body through different temperature exercises. We have cold rivers, so I go and jump into the water. Normally I don't swim, I just put my body in and head especially. Yeah? Between Yakutsk and Oymyakon is 1,000 kilometers. So I traveled 200 kilometers per day. So remote, nothing around, just mountains, forest, taiga, and cold. This is a permafrost land. When I started on the first day, Yakutian, Siberian people who live there, they say, please don't do that. Karolis, you will lose your face on the first day. Yeah, frostbite will eat you. Even though I had helmet and some protections, motorcycling in winter on road bonds doesn't promise to safe ride. Normally I travel alone. In this situation I had 2 vehicles with me. One was for my support team and another one served as a garage. I didn't want to have coffee in the middle of the day. I was driving for hours alone. What is happening inside my head? I call it sometimes as an active meditation. Riding in such harsh conditions, so cold, I have to be only now and here, because if I give a chance to myself to think, okay, there will be warmer, I'm hungry, I'll get food, and so on, when it comes so cold that it's impossible to ride. I have to accept all this cold and completely relax, otherwise it doesn't work. On the 3rd day of my ride, I really had the feeling of, oh, I'm home. There is no hotel at that night. I received a simple tent with a little stove inside. That night was 48 degrees below, and inside the tent we measured minus 13. Oh, cold, inside the tent you want to relax. But then we said, okay guys, let's get out to see to the night. Most of us was like, I have never seen sky like this. Actually feeling like you are in a space somewhere. Last 30 kilometers, it was so mentally tough for me. In one moment I opened the throttle more, 100, 120 kilometers per hour. Steering started to freeze, so it means I see I cannot move it. I started to look for the straight lines, not to use it too much. And when I arrived, when I saw the sign, Oymyakon, and no thoughts, emptiness. Okay, I'm here. When it's minus 55, the town looks pretty empty. And then maybe 1 hour later, it's done. The last thing left is to have a swim in the river.
To finish this week, I'm back in Dubai to check out an iconic 7-star hotel where you'll find some unexpected guests checked in. Wow! This place is so grand. It's like gold everywhere. I've never seen a lobby like it. Now, most people normally use this lift to go up, but I'm going to go down to the basement. The Burj Al Arab is the hotel which almost 20 years ago really put Dubai on the map. But I've been told that behind the scenes, they've got a groundbreaking wildlife conservation project going on. Time to investigate. You must be Gerhard.
I am, welcome.
Ah, nice to meet you. It looks a bit different down here.
It certainly is. Do you want to follow me?
Yeah, okay. It's not quite as bling, is it? What have we got here then, Gerhard?
So what you're seeing here is a part of the Dubai Turtle Rehabilitation Program. The program was formed in 2004. Since inception, we have released 1,576 turtles back into the ocean. But to get them to that stage is a long and lengthy process, and this is where they start.
That sounds like an enormous amount of turtles that you've released, but why are these turtles here?
Well, the turtles generally come to us either because they're injured or because they are sick in some way. So the bulk of the turtles coming to us are either from impact injuries, so that'll be turtles that's stuck by a boat propeller, causing cracks to their carapace. Cold stunning events. Turtles are reptiles, so especially the smaller ones, when they get too cold, they get lethargic, strong winds, and they get washed up on the shore. Another reason is when they ingest plastic, that leads to impaction and infection. Plastic is a huge problem.
Just felt its flipper touch me, it's quite soft. I've been told that it's okay to handle the turtles as long as you're really soft and gentle. And it just feels like an amazing privilege. So soft. And the shell is beautiful.
So generally when the turtles arrive, they're dilapidated and often covered in barnacles, which is a sign that all is not well. In the wild, turtles, they often rest under ledges and they sleep under ledges. They also use those ledges to scrape their shells clean, so when they're sick, they don't do that. And then the barnacles start growing and proliferating and becoming quite heavy. So that's often the first sign. So the first thing we'll do is we'll put the turtles in fresh water, and the fresh water will kill these external parasites, and they will just fall off eventually. The turtle might be severely dehydrated. We will then rehydrate the turtle. We will give a course of antibiotics and then just monitor the turtle for a few days. And then the next thing would be to put the turtle back into seawater to see how it floats. Some of the turtles might have infections in their lungs and they will be positively buoyant, which is a problem for a turtle because the turtle needs to feed. So in the wild, they need to be able to swim, to dive down to the reef. If they can't do that, they can't eat.
Many of the turtles are rescued following alerts from local people on social media. And education plays a big part of the program here at the hotel. So I'm off to join a group of local school kids who are here to meet some turtles that will soon be released back into the wild.
We fix the satellite tracker to the turtle and release her from Fujairah. We named the turtle Diba. What is the name of the turtle?
Little tiny.
This is a tough crowd.
This is a tough crowd.
This is a tough crowd. Put my glove on because it's time to feed the turtles. Are you ready, guys? 2, 3, go! Feed the turtles! Oh, it's all gunky and smelly. It's just behind the rock. Can you see it? Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Gerhard, this seems like a pretty cool place for a turtle to rehabilitate. What happens next from here?
Well, essentially, as you said, it's a very nice place for them to spend the last few months of their rehabilitation. From here, they will get released back into the ocean. We found that the instincts kick in straight away. Once we put them on the beach in the box, and that box is tilted over, they make a beeline for the beach. They never forget that.
They're like, see you later, 7
See you
star
later.
hotel.
I'll see you again.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we won't see you again.
Well, that's it for this week. Join us next week when we follow the Ellis family from America as they prepare to take their first ever flight with their 2 severely autistic twins, heading for the world's first theme park for special needs kids in Texas.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, with the little boy.
But will they make it there?
I'm so relieved that part is over. Now let's just get to the gate.
Make sure you join us for that if you can. But in the meantime, you can follow us in all the usual ways on social media. But for now, from me, Adia Depitan, and all the Travel Show team, it's goodbye from Dubai.